Bosses, bosses, bosses. All of us have them in some shape or form. In our formative years, bosses potentially set the tone of our careers through their thoughts, actions, and behaviors. You can love them or leave them, but you cannot ignore them. So, how do you use spirituality to deal with a tough boss? Learn from my 2 decades of experience dealing with all sorts of tough bosses. Let's get started. As you're probably aware, I'm a big believer of spirituality and its use in all areas of my life. Today, I'll be talking about how I have personally used spirituality to handle 5 tough bosses along my career. Hopefully, you will be able to relate to some of these ideas and apply them in your life as well. Number 1, the Technocrat. Symptoms of a Technocrat: extremely highly skilled, wants to do everything by himself, zero knowledge sharing, is not known for their people skills. My situation: I was still learning the Unix world and we were to build on 8 flavors of Unix along with 4 flavors of Windows. This is the first time I was working in a large, complex enterprise build system. My boss, the lead, would come in about 1:32 in the afternoon. I would come in about 8:39. So for the first 4.5 hours in the morning, I was left alone to answer questions from 100 plus developers on their build environments, their build systems, Unix, support issues, and all of that. And I had no idea where to even begin answering their questions. When the lead did come in at about 1:32 and I would go up to him with some questions, his standard answer was, "Tum dekho na." Translated to, "You have a look." And he would walk away for a smoke break or to eat something, and I would be left stranded there, wondering even where to look at. Even when he solved a specific problem in front of me on the laptop, he would do it so quickly that I would have no idea what he's done. And when I asked him, "What did you just do? What command did you run? Why did you run this?" his answer was, "Tum dekho na. Have a look." How did I handle this? I changed the narrative and the way of asking my boss. I would pick up the most pressing problem of the moment and create a script which would be 30-40 seconds. And I would go up to him and say, "Hey, a developer came up to me. He had problem X. I have tried A, B, and C. Why is the error that I'm getting? How do I move forward? Tell me a direction to go." I started accompanying him on his smoke breaks and started talking to him about cricket, about movies, about politics, anything but work. It was a genuine attempt to forge a relationship with him. I started documenting every single solution that I found and the research and the troubleshooting behind that solution. I had started building a knowledge base. I started appreciating my boss in front of seniors, my colleagues, everybody. Not flattery, genuine appreciation, because he was technically freaking good. What did I learn? With this new perspective, I realized that the boss was not just a pain in the wrong place. He was technically too brilliant to spend any time to explain anything to anybody. I became really good at Unix and understanding complex build systems in an enterprise. Over a year, I became good colleagues with my boss. Not friends, good colleagues. We have stayed in touch over the years and we have followed each other over LinkedIn. Number 2, Technophobe, or technically challenged. What are some of the symptoms? More of a functional boss, never really understood what I did or how complex DevOps is, and because of that, make assumptions and presumptions on what's going on. My situation. My boss was based in the US. She was new to this entire DevOps concept and I had been recruited by the CIO team. She messed up my appraisal because I don't really understand what you do. I was mostly talking to the India boss who had a good opinion of what I was doing. How did I handle this? I was surprised and heartbroken when my appraisal had been messed up. I spoke with my India boss and how this appraisal feedback even came about and realized he was not giving enough information at a regular interval about me to her. He was too busy to, talk about one guy in his team of 100 people. This was my problem. Schedule dedicated time with her to understand her perspective and what she would want to know what I would do. She already had access to her Jira boards. Obviously, she never looked at them. I discussed with other of her direct reportees on how they were handling her. I created a monthly report for her, things I had accomplished in the last month, plan for the next month, appreciation emails that others are appreciating what I'm doing. In the next appraisal, I got a pretty good rating from her. In the next 6 months, I quit the organization. What did I learn? Prove with documentation and not emotions. When you're asked a question, put forward the document, put forward a data point, put forward a report, put forward the system, and let the system do the talking. Don't get emotional. It's my job to ensure my boss understands what I do and appreciates my work. It is not my boss's responsibility. It is my responsibility to make him or her do that. Big lesson. Number 3, egoistical. The symptoms are, saw me as a competition, even though I was about 3 levels below him. I was ridiculed in every one-to-one meeting. Nothing that I did was good enough for him. The feedback was always generic, non-technical, which I couldn't even understand, forget improving anything. Purposely stayed away from the technology niche and any technical discussions. My situation. My boss was new to the organization. I had been around a while and had a good reputation in the entire organization. My boss never debated technically. He would always talk metaphorically about technical things like DevOps or a DevOps implementation at a customer's end. Something I could never understand the metaphors, let alone understand what he was trying to say. How did I handle this? I did not let his opinion of me determine my self-worth. I checked if he had this special behavior with anybody else in the organization, and I figured that I was not the only one he loved so much. Worked extra hard and got regular appreciations from senior stakeholders within the organizations, sales, Marcom, delivery leads, and everybody else. I went into an overdrive on my webinars, blogs, conferences, etc. And when I got appreciation from there, that was my validation from the external world. That helped me maintain my sanity up there. What did I learn? Work smarter, not just harder. Accelerate on your brand identity creation and get validations of your self-worth from other sources and you, of course. Most important, my self-worth is in my hands. Number 3, the contended boss. Symptoms: he or she is very comfortable with where they are in life today. They're not bullish about their own personal career growth. They've achieved stuff in life. He's now focused on other things beyond work, family, hobbies, etc. He or she is not a troublemaker for you. They just don't take active interest in their growth and by logical deduction in anybody else's growth. My situation, when I presented a new initiative, he dismissed it. He would not go out of the way to highlight the work done by the team. He would just do enough. He had achieved nirvana and wanted us to have a slice of it too, but we were totally zoned into our own personal career growth. How did I handle it? Had a candid discussion with him, told him of my ambitions and my growth journey, asked for his support and help, followed up diligently on what I wanted him to do for me, and he came through it very well. Moved out of his team into another part of the organization. He supported me very well throughout the effort. We are still good friends, and he's a happy camper as always, and he's given me glowing recommendations on LinkedIn as well. What did I learn? Not everybody will be at the same ambition level as you are. As long as you understand that and stay true to yourself, it is okay. It is preferable to change a boss before you change an organization. Number 5, the perfectionist. Symptoms: he or she wants everything to be just perfect, does not trust anybody else to do anything. They get angry when others don't get it. Not the best communicators on what they want done. Operate at a very, very high frequency of efficiency. My situation: the boss was a known tyrant in the organization. He was good at heart. He was a great team supporter. Outwardly, he came across as very, very rough and tough. It was a no F's given attitude in the organization. Internally, we knew that he supported this team when it counted most. But he wanted top-notch perfection in the work. How did I handle this? By this time, I had grown spiritually and had a couple of ways to handle this rather tricky situation. I aligned to what he wanted and did things his way. Did not argue on trivial things like the format of the PPT, the changes on a slide, what to say to whom. Let the trivial things go. I showed phenomenal results in my specific area consistently with customer testimonials, internal stakeholders, appreciation emails, not just for me but for the team itself, and made sure they got highlighted at the right forum, at the right time, and consistent feedback to him as well. Highlighted potential issues to him before he would know about them, so that he was not caught unaware when the shit hit the ceiling. Over a period of time, I was able to gain his trust, and from then on, it was an easy ride. He did not dig deeper into what I was doing and gave me freedom to do my thing my way. What did I learn? Align to the organizational objective and your boss's objective and get what you want to do your thingy. Align to boss without losing your individuality. You might have to lose a couple of battles here and there, but you will win the war. So these are some of the experiences I've had in dealing with tough bosses over the past 20 plus years of my career. Of course, I've had some great bosses as well, and they have had a tremendous impression on my thought process and how I tackle problems today. And I am where I am because what I've been taught by these great bosses. Now maybe you're wondering, where is the spirituality in how you handle these bosses? I didn't find that. There's no voodoo magic, no miracles, no nothing in what you've just described. So where is the spirituality in all of this? Fair point. Let me explain. For me, spirituality is not about big miraculous events. It's about the little things in everyday life to make our lives a little better. It's about listening to the little nudges or intuitions that come to us every now and then. Spirituality is about zoning into the universe and operating in harmony with it. For example, when I have the Technophobe boss mess up my appraisal, spirituality helped me not to get frustrated and immediately quit the organization. It helped me have a balanced response, to stay put and learn how to deal with her and to get good at it, because I would continue to get similar bosses like her in further journey as well. And I ensured that I got a good rating in my next approval. And when I still saw that nothing much was changing in the organization, that's when I decided to move out. When I had the egoistical boss and was being ridiculed every single day for no fault of mine, spirituality helped me to maintain sanity. It made me understand that he does not have control over my self-worth. And I managed to outlast the boss in that organization and went on to flourish there. Let me know in the comments below if some of the ideas that I've presented here have resonated with you. Also tell me about a tough boss that you've had and how you've handled them. Have a good one and see you in the next one.